Welcome back to another video. Today is an interesting topic. I think it's necessary. It's a very heavy topic, actually. I think in today's day and age, we forget how to talk about these things. Today's topic is the soul. Very, very, very interesting. So, I am a political science student, and I am studying at the University of Waterloo. Yesterday, I was in a event where we were discussing things, jobs, co-op, interviews, all that type of stuff. And it's like, just listening to what people say is important, very important. Because if you listen carefully enough, you hear the truth. If you listen for the truth, it makes the person telling it uncomfortable. So, this is why we as human beings have something called the soul. It's within us. It connects us to the divine. I am Muslim. Assalamu alaikum. I practice the Islam. I practice Islam, okay? And Islam means to submit, okay? When you submit, that is when things get better. But those that fight against this current because they believe they are in charge of their life are aimlessly walking around in this life. People ask the question of what is the purpose of life? I think you understand why. Because a lot of people don't know what they're doing. And it's a scary thing to figure out for yourself. Let me pause my music. I'm getting too much into that. But you need to understand that aimlessly walking around in life is the lack of purpose. Being purposeful is actually much more challenging because sometimes we believe we know what we're doing when in fact we don't know what we're doing at all. I think that the arrogance that people have, human beings in particular, is impressive. I have to be honest. But remember, arrogance is only for the divine. Because guess what? The divine created us. So if the divine created us and we are arrogant, that means that there's something wrong. Why be arrogant when God is everything, everywhere, all at the exact same time? This is why those that have been religious, spiritual, in search of meaning have been ostracized to a point of disillusionment within their own thinking. Meaning, people will make them question their beliefs because they themselves have no set of beliefs at all. Instead, they just float through life as if they don't know what's happening. But those that know, if you know, you know. If you don't want to know, you will know. You'll not never know, but it's just a matter of saying, well, I don't know. I think that's actually more impressive. But again, this is still a work in progress because I'm trying to take a stab at something that is very difficult to really describe. It's very hard to describe what the soul is. But I will think I'll say it's something it's a part of you because God created you. So you have, in essence, God within you. So if you can understand that, and if you can understand that God is within you, then that means that God is with you. So that means that God is with you everywhere at every time. But if you then begin to think that you have nothing in you, right? You have to remember these are thought processes, right? We're in the 21st century, 2026. We're so far advanced in this life that we figured it all out, right? Right? No, we haven't. We haven't figured out nothing. We haven't figured out anything. It's actually the opposite. We think we figured out everything when we haven't figured out anything at all. And it's the arrogance of those that feel like they have figured out everything that disillusions everyone else. So I want to tell you guys something honestly. Don't chase money, okay? Yo, I want to say that one more time. Do not chase money, okay? Because when you go after something that's finite, it's not infinite. It is finite. It has to be, it has to be conjured up from someplace. Someone's printing the money, and they're what are they basing it off of? There's nothing. 300 and something $trillion. America's in debt too. Like, you'd think we are so far advanced in this universe, in this world, that money would just like start helping people. No, it doesn't actually. They just make it more so they can keep it. Like, don't look at money as like the basis of people. Money is a tool. All right, just in basic terminology. I don't want to go really far into it because there's some technical stuff that is very difficult to understand. There's interest, there's loans, there's all these different things. But that's up to you guys to figure out for yourself. All right, I'm just telling you what it really is. All right, and look, at the end of the day, if you're confident in what you're saying and you know what you're saying, it's because God is really with you, and your soul hasn't been affected. Meaning you understand you have a soul, so that's the first step. Right, you are a conscious being, right? You're thinking, you're moving through your life, right? You're not just aimlessly wandering, you're actually actively participating in your own life. So if you think that you are not actively being guided by something, then that's the problem. Then you start to think that you're not being guided at all, and you make decisions for yourself without any guidance. That's why parents are there for you. That's why your family is there for you. That's why, you have that teacher in high school or middle school that always was there with you and pushed you. And it felt like, why are they making me work so hard? Because they believe in you. But guess who believes in us? I mean, guess who we should believe in? Because they created us. These are tough concepts to understand if you don't want to understand it. Okay? That's really the essence of life. If you want to make it more difficult, that's your fault. I mean, that's not your fault. That's your decision. My bad. You see, language is an interesting thing. I know that people will continue in disillusionment, right? Even me saying this, right? There's someone outside listening, hearing what I'm saying, but they may not actually think of it at all. That's the point, because you are on a journey on your own in this life, born alone, and you will die alone. So whatever you do between that time period where you were born and you die is up to you, right? But there's a period in time where you literally, there's nothing that you, like, come on, you were being taken care of by your family, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't, what were you gonna, like, you're a baby. Like, what can you really do? And then once you're, like, really old, that's a little bit different, too, because, like, you don't have the physical capabilities of, like, doing what you were able to do when you were younger. So, like, you see, regret at the end of your life is probably because of the fact that you didn't live the life that you wanted to, right? So you thought that you were living the life that you were, Don't be led by people who are blind, right? The blind leading the blind. Even your own family can be that, right? Even your own friends can be that, right? Even people you meet can be that, right? So this essence of the soul is so important and integral to understand, because, like, you just want to be alive, but the people who don't want to be, like, human, because, like, to be human, to make mistakes, to cry, to go through hardship, to struggle, to endure, right? The indomitable human spirit, right? It's like nothing else on this planet, right? Animals are different because they're animals. They're not consciously rational thinking like we are, right? Maybe dolphins have a high IQ, yes. Brother, can they file my taxes? No, they can't. They're in the water just chilling because that's what God created them to do. You know what I mean? Like, you got created to do something different. So, like, find out what you're supposed to do. The more you keep going through this life and like, yo, I don't know what to... you're confused. Like, just calm down, right? Tap in properly. Like, pray, you know what I mean? Like, yo, meditate. Like, yo... like, fast for a little bit. Like, don't be like, you know what I mean, all the time. Like, don't be looking at people. Like, don't go after people. Like, don't get into relationships. Like, just calm down. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 24, man. I'm trying to get married. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of figured out the game. Like, yo, it's like, yo, they trying to... I'm good, man. I got 500 million in the bank for what? Like, what? All right, I'm tripping. But thank you guys for watching this video. Got a few more videos coming out in the next couple days. I really don't know what I don't know what I'm saying, guys. I have no script. I have nothing that I literally have. I come here and I sit down. This is my YouTube station. It's a prayer room. I have no audio equipment, nothing. This is just straight from the Apple, straight from Steve, man. That's my man, bro. You know what I mean? He had his own issues for himself. You know, he's a man. He's valuable. He's a valuable person. All right, I'm going off of a tangent. But to find the soul, we all feel it, but those that avoid it understand it even deeply. Thank you guys. Take care.